Section I. Introduction. In this section, we delve into the pressing issue of breast cancer, which stands as the leading cause of cancer-related deaths among women globally. According to the World Health Organization, breast cancer accounts for 1 in 4 cancer cases and 1 in 6 cancer deaths, making it the most frequently diagnosed cancer worldwide. In 2020 alone, there were approximately 2.3 million new cases and 685,000 fatalities. Specifically, in Brazil, it's projected that during the 2023 to 2025 period, there will be 73,610 new cases annually. This disease is categorized into several subtypes, with the 4 main ones being luminal A, luminal B, HER2, and triple-negative breast cancer, TNBC. The forecast suggests a nearly 50% increase in cancer diagnoses by 2040 compared to 2020. Early detection and effective treatment significantly improve the chances of successful outcomes, with mammography being a common diagnostic method. The breast is primarily composed of lobules, connective tissue, and ducts, with cancer usually originating in the ducts or lobules. Symptoms can include lumps, changes in size or shape, dimpling, redness, and nipple discharge, among others. Diagnostic methods range from mammography and ultrasound to MRI, biopsy, clinical examinations, and genetic testing. Tumors can be benign or malignant, with treatment options depending on the cancer's grade, stage, and molecular subtype, including surgery, radiation, and various forms of. The application of machine learning in healthcare, particularly in breast cancer diagnosis, is gaining traction due to its predictive accuracy and potential to reduce medical costs. Our study focuses on enhancing machine learning models, specifically boosting algorithms like XGBoost, LightGBM, and CatBoost, with an emphasis on optimizing the recall metric to minimize false negatives, which is crucial in healthcare settings. Moreover, explaining the model's decisions is vital, especially for critical healthcare outcomes. Here, Shapley additive explanations, plays a crucial role in demystifying the model by ranking variables and detecting potential data leaks or overfitting. In related work, the use of machine learning techniques in healthcare, especially for breast cancer detection, has seen a significant uptick. Various studies have explored different algorithms, including deep learning for computer-aided diagnosis, with notable applications in detecting and localizing breast masses and calcifications. Techniques ranging from supervised and unsupervised feature selection to various classification models like support vector machine, SVM, random forest, and decision trees have been employed, achieving high accuracy rates. Some studies have also utilized ensemble voting systems and hybrid approaches combining genetic algorithms with machine learning models, further enhancing diagnostic accuracy. In summary, the integration of machine learning in breast cancer detection and diagnosis represents a promising avenue for improving patient outcomes and advancing healthcare technology. Our research aims to contribute to this field by optimizing machine learning models for better accuracy and interpretability, ultimately aiding in the fight against this prevalent disease. Section Summary. In this section, we provide an introduction to the prevalence and impact of breast cancer, highlighting its classification into subtypes and the importance of early detection and effective treatment. We also discuss the application of machine learning in healthcare, particularly in breast cancer diagnosis, emphasizing the use of boosting algorithms and the significance of optimizing the recall metric to minimize false positives. Additionally, we explore the use of explainable models like SHAP to enhance the interpretability and performance of machine learning models in breast cancer diagnosis. Section 3. Methodology. In this section, we discuss the methodology we employed in our study. We began by gathering data from the Breast Cancer Wisconsin dataset, which comprises 569 instances divided into 2 categories, 357 benign and 212 malignant. This dataset includes 31 attributes that we utilized for our analysis and modeling efforts. To understand the relationships between these attributes, we created a Spearman's correlation plot. Additionally, we compiled a table detailing all the attributes, their types, and the range of values they can take, and produced a distribution plot for each variable. In the first phase of our methodology, which we refer to as data preprocessing, we emphasize the importance of preparing the data for analysis. Normalization, a process that scales features to a similar range, is a common step in this phase, especially for models like neural networks, support vector machines, SVM, and k-nearest neighbors, KNN, which require data to be on a similar scale. However, for decision tree-based models like the gradient boost machines we used in our study, this step is not as critical. These models are less sensitive to the scale of features because they make decisions based on thresholds, not on the absolute scale of the data. Since our dataset consists of numerical values without any missing entries, we did not need to focus on normalization or other preprocessing steps such as handling missing values or encoding categorical variables. Next, we delve into the concept of gradient boosting machines, GBMs. Boosting is a technique that combines the outputs of multiple weak classifiers to form a strong classifier. GBMs improve upon this idea by using additive models in conjunction with gradient descent to optimize a loss function. Instead of optimizing the loss function directly with numerical methods, GBMs adjust the function in the direction of the gradient using boosting functions. This process can be summarized by a couple of equations that essentially update the model by adding a fraction of the gradient at each step. We also explore several variations of boosting algorithms, including AdaBoost, XGBoost, CatBoost, and Light GBM. AdaBoost, the pioneer among these, focuses on creating a strong classifier by adjusting weights assigned to the training data after each iteration. XGBoost, released in 2016, is known for its scalability and flexibility, and it introduces a novel regularization technique to prevent overfitting. CatBoost, developed by Yandex researchers, uses target-based statistics and a permutation technique for handling categorical data, aiming to avoid overfitting and data leakage. Lastly, Light GBM differentiates itself with a technique called gradient-based one-side sampling, GOS, and a leaf-wise tree growth strategy, which enhances computational efficiency and supports categorical features. Through this methodology, we aim to provide a comprehensive analysis of the breast cancer Wisconsin dataset, leveraging advanced machine learning techniques to gain insights into the data. Section Summary. In this section, we extracted data from the breast cancer Wisconsin dataset, which consists of 569 instances with 2 classes, benign and malignant, and 31 attributes were used for analysis and modeling. We performed Spearman's correlation plot, created a table containing all attributes, types, and value ranges, and made distribution plots for each variable. Additionally, we discussed the importance of data preprocessing, particularly normalization, and the use of gradient boosting machines, GBMs, such as AdaBoost, XGBoost, CatBoost, and Light GBM for creating powerful models from weak classifiers. These GBMs utilize different techniques to optimize loss functions and improve model performance, with each having unique features such as regularization, target-based statistics, and efficient tree growth strategies. Section 3C Metrics of Evaluation. In this section, we discuss various methods for evaluating the performance of classification algorithms. One such method is the confusion matrix, which is a table that records the frequency of classifications into categories like true positive, TP, false positive, FP, false negative, FN, and true negative, TN. We calculate these by arranging all the data in the matrix based on the class predicted by our model versus the actual class for each instance in the dataset. Another evaluation metric we explore is the receiver operating characteristic, ROC, curve, which is essentially a graph that shows the performance of the classification model at various threshold settings by plotting the true positive rate, TPR, against the false positive rate, FPR. The area under the ROC curve, AUC, measures the model's ability to distinguish between classes. The AUC value, which ranges from 0.5 to 1, reflects the classifier's performance across all possible thresholds. To calculate the ROC curve, we plot the TPR, also known as sensitivity, against the FPR, or specificity, for different threshold values. We also look at accuracy, which is the ratio of correct predictions to the total number of input samples. However, we note that relying solely on accuracy can be misleading, especially in cases where there is an imbalance between classes. This is because the model might predict the majority class more frequently, leading to a high number of false negatives, which is particularly concerning in disease diagnosis applications where reducing false negatives is critical. Furthermore, we discuss recall and precision. Recall is the ratio of correctly predicted positive observations to all observations in actual class, while precision is the ratio of correctly predicted positive observations to all observations in predicted class. Both metrics are crucial for understanding the performance of our model beyond just accuracy. We introduce the F measure, or F score, which is derived from precision and recall. This metric helps us understand the balance between precision and recall, as improving one often comes at the expense of the other. The F measure can be adjusted using a beta parameter, which weights recall more heavily than precision, depending on our specific needs. When beta equals 1, the F measure becomes the harmonic mean of precision and recall, known as the F1 score. In terms of preparing our data, we divided it into 65% for training and 35% for testing using the train_test_split function from the sklearn library. To fine-tune our model, we utilized Optuna, an open-source library that employs Bayesian optimization, specifically a tree-structured Parson estimator, TPE, to dynamically construct the parameter search space. This approach allows us to optimize our model's parameters based on the performance metrics calculated on the test data. Lastly, we address the challenge of explainability in machine learning models, which are often seen as black boxes due to their complex mathematical operations. To make our model's decisions more transparent and understandable, we employed Shapley additive explanations, which calculates the contribution of each input feature to the prediction. This method, based on Shapley values from game theory, helps us understand the importance of each feature in the model's predictions, thereby enhancing the explainability of our model and aiding in decision-making processes. Section Summary. In this section, we evaluate the performance of the classification algorithm using various metrics. The confusion matrix provides a breakdown of true positive, true negative, and false negative classifications. Additionally, we utilize the ROC-AUC curve to measure the classifier's ability to distinguish between classes across different threshold values, and we consider the impact of class imbalance on accuracy, recall, precision, and F-measure metrics. Finally, we discuss the use of training data, model tuning with Optuna, and the explainability of the model using SHAP to aid decision-making. Section IV Results and Discussion. In this section, we discuss the results and insights from our research, where we evaluated 8 different models. Initially, we established a baseline model for each and then utilized Optuna to optimize the F-beta score, while also considering other metrics like AUC and accuracy. The entire process and final code are documented for reference. Our first step involved loading the data into data frames using the pandas library and employing the describe function to understand the dataset better, including its maximum, minimum, mean, and median values. This analysis helped us construct a specific table. We also used the core function to generate a plot of Spearman's correlation using the Seaborn library, aiding in our understanding of the data relationships. In terms of our baseline models, we started with AdaBoost, XGBoost, CatBoost, and LightGBM without adjusting any hyperparameters. We trained these models on our training dataset and then evaluated them on our test dataset, focusing on metrics such as AUC, recall, accuracy, and F1 score. The results of these evaluations were summarized in a table. Additionally, we created confusion matrices and plotted the ROC curve for each model to visually assess their performance. Moving on to model tuning with Optuna, we designed an objective function that focused on maximizing the F-beta metric. This approach was chosen to improve recall by minimizing false negatives, aiming to enhance the performance over our baseline models. We defined a space for hyperparameter search and, after numerous trials, found our best results. Specifically, with a beta value of 2.7, AdaBoost underwent 3,074 trials and its best model achieved an F-beta score of 97.58%. XGBoost, after 2,830 trials, showed its best performance in trial 2,274, with an F-beta score of 99.13%. CatBoost, with 838 trials, had its best performance in trial 102, achieving an F-beta score of 99.04%. LightGBM, after 3,018 trials, reached its peak performance in trial 127, with an F-beta score of 99.26%. We displayed the final ROC curves for all models tuned by Optuna, along with their AUC and recall metrics, in a figure. The final confusion matrices are presented in subsequent figures. Lastly, we applied SHAP analysis to the XGBoost, CatBoost, and LightGBM models to understand the impact of each feature on the model's predictions. Unfortunately, AdaBoost does not natively support SHAP values without modifications to the SHAP source code. The outcomes of this analysis are illustrated in a figure, providing deeper insights into how our models make decisions.